So, hello again, YouTube. Back again with another tea video review here. And today's a special day because I am finally getting to brew this special tea. Well, in my opinion, it's pretty special. It's a 2021 Smokeshou is what it's called. So it's a ripe puer that they basically processed like a yan, or not a, I guess a lapsang souchong, like a smoked lapsang basically. So they have the whole write-up on it, obviously on White2tea, so you can check that out if you want to. But so I have already done the rinse and I've done the first steep, I will admit, because this was a compressed little tea ball. It came in this little wrapper here. So I wanted to make sure that the tea opened up so that I could get that flavor out of there quick. So I've already tried the first steep and it was actually very flavorful. It had a little bit of like a peanut type of flavor with almost like a little bit of a caramelness. And what really surprises me about this already is the aroma. It's half of it is a lapsang, like a smoked lapsang. Half of it is a ripe puer. So, but it's really balanced and the flavors are like congruent, you know. It's very interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and try this steep here before I start the next steep. Wow. So it does have that velvety, sort of thick mouthfeel that your good ripe puer has. But yet it has that smoke, a little bit of that smoky flavor that your lapsang has. And yeah, I really enjoy this. If you're someone who likes ripe puer, or if you're someone who likes lapsang, or maybe even like smoking cigars, or maybe even like scotch, I could see how you would probably like this tea. It's got interesting flavors. So I believe it was smoked the same way as like a smoked lapsang does, like is processed, but it's a ripe puer. So it's obviously going to produce something really interesting and unique. And I think they achieved something pretty nice here. So I think this is probably the third or fourth brew. So I'm really getting into the full flavor, I think, in this steep here. It's fully opened up in here. The aroma is very strong, ripe puer with that smoky scotch type of aroma. And yeah, I can for me, sometimes ripe puer I feel it in my stomach right away. It actually feels pretty pleasant in the body already. So let's go ahead and steep another one. Just quick here. Do a flash steeping here, because I find that sometimes if you do a flash steeping, you'll pick up more of the nuance of the flavor. Whereas when I leave this sit and brew, it just gets a little bit bitter. Like, I think that last steeping that I had was just a touch too bitter. But overall, so far I'm enjoying this. So, ripe puer in general isn't like something I always am reaching for, just because I prefer like raw puer and some oolongs and things like that. But I could potentially see myself ordering a few more of these little samples, because it's really interesting. I mean, it's not often that you get these flavors mixed together, so I'm gonna go ahead and heat up some more water here and try to get a few more steepings and see what I can like push out of this tea. So because the video's at 6 minutes, I'm gonna try to keep it at about like 10 minutes or so, something like that, 12 minutes maybe. As much as I like to take my time, I also want to keep the videos somewhat short. So it's got a real cool wrapper here. They always come up with the most interesting things. But this tea is, if you like ripe puer, I think you'd probably like it. Take that back. If you like ripe puer and lapsang, then you'd probably like this. Yeah, to be honest, this is not what I expected though. For some reason, I expected something that was like more sweet. And so far, maybe I'll get more sweetness later, but right now it's more towards the bitter, definitely. You almost get a little bit of bitter cocoa, bitter cacao in there, in the background. I'd say it's velvety, like the description says. As far as the texture goes, it's good. So, one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this tea on is because when I looked it up online, I didn't see any videos or reviews on it. So it was hard to decide whether or not to get the tea, so I just bought one little sample. And I'm glad I actually ended up getting it, just to see what it was. But I find nowadays, like, at least right now, it's leaning towards summertime. In the summer, I typically go for like oolong, like dancong oolongs, or obviously sheng puer. But occasionally to switch it up, a ripe puer or something like this is really nice to have occasionally, just to kind of switch it up. Alright. So let's push this tea and see what it has to offer in here. This is gonna be a little crazy, because this tea has 7 grams in it, and normally I typically will brew with 3 to 4, maybe 5 grams. So the fact that I'm using 7 is probably just going to make this tea experience just very strong. And the aroma is still very solid. It's got a little bit of caramel aroma in there. A little bit of a clean hint of woodiness. So I lost my handle on here, so I have to just hold it like this. It's kind of inconvenient, but it's okay. So we're coming up on 10 minutes already, wow. So I'll probably just push this next steep very heavily. I believe I have 15 minutes to make a video. Ooh, wow. Or like 15 minutes is the limit I have to upload for now, I believe. So towards the end now, it's getting more towards a classic right puer, at least in the aroma. Wow. Except it's like a quality right puer. It's not just your average, you know. This is really interesting. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill this thing up. Oh, wow. The only bad thing about filling this guy one up is it's when I go to pour it out, it's probably going to be very hot, and hopefully I just don't burn myself. So I'm going to push this steep here. Let's go ahead and try this one here. Cheers, as they say. Wow. Okay, so now it's very balanced. This steep it's got a little bit of just that smooth, little hint of cocoa, right puer. You still get the lapsang, but the lapsang is now towards the background, and it's just a hint of like a pine smoke maybe. Yeah, this is very good. Now, I will say, if you're not used to right puer, or if you're not into smoked lapsang, you probably wouldn't like this tea because it's not very sweet. You know, it's not totally 100% approachable for your average person, I would think. So if you're expecting this to taste like sugar and brownies and brown sugar and caramel, you might be disappointed. But it has a hint maybe of a little bit of caramel, a little bit of cocoa amongst wood, these other things. So I'm kind of just rambling on, but so far this is very good. And there's so many teas out there that I don't know if I'm not gonna go rush to buy this again, but maybe eventually down the road I would get this again. Wow, so I'm pushing this, see if there's any more flavors that sort of lie below in there. Wow. I almost want to say, this is so weird, but like, and I almost cringe when I say this, but old book, like, you know the aroma of an old book, it has such a hint of that in here. I mean, this isn't, to be honest, it's not something that's going to blow you away in its quality, but it's something that's unique and it's interesting. So, yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I think I might go ahead and wrap this up in just a moment or so. It's really staying along the same lines in terms of the flavor profile. Kind of what you'd expect. It's like half right puer, half lapsang. So. All right, well, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.